What's happening, people? Welcome to today's episode of the Flex and Rant Show. Thanks for waiting an extra day. You know, you lot were treated to a great performance and some great goals yesterday, which we'll get into. But we moved the show. Rants, it's been so long since we've done this Flex and Rant Show with games. We forgot, like, during the normal season, we would always move it if there was a game on the on the day. Completely forgot.
Yeah, bruv. It was a good game to move it for as well, man.
Do you know what I mean? I don't mind moving it for games like that. A lot more of that. And we'll get into the Brighton performance and how we've been performing in the Premier League as well, and Angel Gomez and loads of stuff like that. But we've got to start off with we seem in really good shape right now. You know, a lot of people are very optimistic in terms of if we continue to invest in this ilk, could we track down Liverpool? Are we going to be Liverpool's closest rivals? Could we leapfrog City if we have a good summer? I get it. We're not there yet, and we need to keep going. And look, I don't want people to think like, oh, Man United have won 2 games back to back, not even in the top 4 yet, and they think they're going to win the league. All about context. What I'm asking is, and what I want the discussion to be around is, you can see that we've got our best 11. You can see what they're capable of. They can look frightening and devastating at times. If we continue in this form, and then add to that, like a Sancho, could we be onto something here?
I think we need more than a Sancho. I think we saw with the change in the midfield, as soon as we took off Pogba and Bruno, we were under siege, innit? Like, all of a sudden, De Gea's having to make saves. You know what I mean? We're conceding chances that we wouldn't normally concede. So I still think that we lack the depth to amount a serious challenge, because I feel like we're still, if you look at our team, if we're being 100% honest, fully fit, yeah, we can beat anyone in this league. But
love that,
we're 1 or 2 injuries away from being crap again. Like we are. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can see that just by the changes we've made in it. So I think it's important not to get too carried away with where we are. There's a massive drop in quality between us at our best and us without a couple of our best players. Do you know what I mean? So I think we need to definitely improve the depth if we're going to be able to challenge seriously. Like, definitely, because I've already seen it. Like, it's not going to be a coaching masterclass, innit? We know what we have. So you have to give Ollie the players. You have to give him the players, man. So I think we still need, I think we're about 4 players of good quality away from being able to mount a sustained challenge, meaning that even if we get a few injuries, I reckon we can still be there or thereabouts. But I'm happy, bro. Like I tweeted earlier, like, we've had loads of false dawns in the last 7 years. This one feels a little bit different. However,
what's different about it?
No, it feels different. I actually like this team, innit? Like, I haven't liked our team for 7 years. Like, the players, I haven't liked them. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I look at them, I'm like, these are not Man United players. Like, now I'm starting to see these guys, with the exception of a few, and I'm like, rah, these man actually look like Manchester United players now. In the past, there's been a lot of players that had no business being here. So I just feel like the team looks happier. They're just more likable, man. They're young, they're more relatable, and everything about the team is just that, it's good to see them in it, like, out there playing the football and enjoying their football. So it's just nice, isn't it? It's nice to have a team that, like, you actually like, innit? And I think I'm not the only person that feels that way, bro. I think most people, like, genuinely, we're looking forward to watching United play now, and it hasn't been like that.
Yeah, the optimism is definitely there. And you know what? I know, don't take this the wrong way, guys. Right? Take it into context, right? I'm just looking at Liverpool's team and I'm looking at our team. And when you actually deep it, right? If you look at, like, player for player, like, our midfield on paper is better than theirs.
Bro, we got one of the best midfields in Europe. Forget paper, innit? Like, we have, like, we do.
Front 3, exactly. Front 3. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Liverpool's is brilliant, but if ours
have more goals than theirs, bro.
There you go. So then the real issue is when you're thinking about, and I know there's so many things in between, because the real reason why we haven't been up there this season is not because of the lack of good results against the big teams. It's the lack of results against the teams that we perceive that we should be beating. Your Bournemouth, your Aston Villas, your Crystal Palace, etc. The list goes on. Newcastle's, but really it becomes about, can we score against their back 4? Because we can stop them scoring. You look at right back, you think Mane's not getting past flipping Wan-Bissaka. Luke Shaw's proved on many occasions that he can handle the best of the best defensively. No issues there. Harry Maguire and Lindelof, you might say they might not be the best pairing, but they've proved, you know, in 15 games, we've only conceded 4 goals and scored like 33. So that is the makings of something. Then the only question that you look at is actually our forward line and our midfield should, you know, outplay theirs on paper. You get me? And so you're thinking it's just, can the forward score against, you know, your Trents, your Gomez's, and your Robertson and your Van Dijk, and obviously the keeper. So it just makes, like, when you look at it like that, if we get the consistency right against the other teams, we should be in and around there. No, do you know what I mean? Like the analogy I'm trying to go for.
Thing, I know what you're saying, but the one thing you're missing out on is that they have the best manager in the world and we don't. In it, like Gary Neville said something, and he said, like, Klopp is making 30 million players look like 130 million pound players, and other clubs have made 130 million pound players look like 30 million pound players. Manchester United are guilty of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's because they don't have the best manager in the world, bro. So honestly, like, Klopp has worked a miracle with these man, innit? So yes, on paper, we look every bit as good as these man. However, the manager, like, it's so, and that's why I always say, as much as Oli, like, you give him the right players who'll be able to do something, I believe that there's a ceiling for him just because of his ability as a manager. And I think that having a proper elite manager just takes you to that next level, innit? Like, there's no doubt in here that Oli can get us, if you back him completely, he can get us the 3rd place, innit? Like, 3rd. If we outspend Chelsea and we recruit better than Chelsea, I think our players will be able to get us there. But passing City and Liverpool is going to take a bit more than spending money, in my opinion. And that's always been my criticism. I always want to look at, can we challenge for the title with him going up against Pep and Klopp? I don't think so. You know what I mean?
But if he's with a team that didn't have Bruno in it, with a team that was still knitting together, and you look at where we are now versus where we was before Bruno, and, you know, some people argue that the system hasn't changed, just that Solskjaer's got better players, which I can see that, which is true. But if he does continue to get players like that, then like a Sancho, you know, and like others, hopefully, and he's already beaten the top guys or proved he can, with whether you think it's down to him or the team.
What did we do against Liverpool?
So we drew and we lost.
We haven't beaten.
Apart from them, but everyone else beat Tottenham, beat Chelsea 3 times this year. Obviously, they're going to be a different Chelsea. Beat City home and away, and I think it was down to more than just luck. I think obviously we worked out a way to play against them and play to our strengths, and we really did in those games. But if we add better players into that, surely, whether you think Solskjaer is doing it because of tactical prowess or because he's just getting backed in the boardroom, he could be successful. He could be. Like you said, he's already got us the best part of a rebuild since Sir Alex. Innit? So maybe that could happen. Rants. Maybe we could challenge with Oli. I think we can. Challenge.
I don't. Okay. If you challenge?
I think we can challenge. I don't see why not. If we keep investing like this, why not?
Yeah.
The proof is kind of already there.
You would think so. You would think if we continue, if we sign 3 players in this window, I expect a challenge next season. Anything short of that's a joke, innit? Because we're looking at it right now, like the first time we've seen Matic, Bruno and Pogba play together, they've only started 3 games together. That's it. Do you know what I'm saying? Give them a full season starting together, and then someone to come in if there's an injury or whatever, bro, then we can be blowing teams away. Like what we done yesterday and what we done against Sheffield United, that's what was missing in all the performances previously when we were playing the likes of the Burnleys and going 2-0 down and stuff like that. I feel like we're too good now. We're too good now if we're fully fit. Those things shouldn't really happen. And if they do, like in the Sir Alex Ferguson era, we put it down to just a bad day at the office. Do you know what I'm saying? But we've had too many bad days at the office. So at the moment, bro, fully fit. I honestly, in my heart, I feel like we can beat anyone in the league. But
100%.
But if we're not fit, like if we get one injury, bro, like bruv, you take Pogba out of that team, it's a madness, bro. You take Bruno out of that team, it's a madness, bro. We're still one injury away from being crap again, bro. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I want to get excited, but the board need to show me how serious they are about challenging. And that would be going in the transfer market this summer and buying what we need, innit? If they do that, that's when I'm gonna be loud in it, and I'm gonna be talking a lot of smack. But until then,
even with Oli as the manager,
bro, it's not even about Oli, bro. It's about the team, bro. It's about Manchester United, bro. As a Manchester United fan, the thing is with Oli, yeah, I don't think he's a good enough manager, yeah, to have us winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. However, if the board back him, I think that our team are gonna scare people in it. We'll at least get a bit of respect back, and we'll step out of the banter era, because we're still in the banter era right now. But we'll come out of that banter era where man think that they can run jokes with us, yeah, if we have a good window. No one can banter us no more, because we're slapping all your teams. Do you know what I mean? So I just think we step out of the banter era with one more good window. Teams have to take us seriously, and then we can leave man to laugh at Tottenham and Arsenal and them, man. But we need to step away from them, innit?
I agree with what you're saying in terms of we're just an injury away in certain positions. Them being crap. There's a couple of positions that maybe it looks like, you know, Greenwood could come in if so-and-so gets injured, but you want him to start more games. But if a Sancho comes in, then you're looking at that well-stocked. You want a bit more competition for Rashford on the left-hand side. Dan James, to be fair, coming on in the last 15, 20 minutes of games, that's what should happen. I looked at it yesterday. That's the role Dan James should have had this season, really, if you think about it. The whole
season, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like coming in, that's, you know, the kids come in from the Championship. You come in against a team 3-0 down, 2-0 down, whatever it may be. They're tired. You get a fast Dan James coming, and he had chances. And even Gary Neville was saying that's just an area he needs to work on his game, which will come. Just making better decisions. But he was in there, tired legs. That's when you bring in Dan James. You look at the midfield and the competition for places. The drop off in quality is too much. You know, you can't have a Bruno injury and then bring in Lingard or Pereira. We can see that. You can't have an injury to Pogba. And get the same out of a McTominay and a Fred is obviously not that type of player. Even a Matic at this stage with the balance that he provides, if he was to come out of that team, which we've seen, we don't have a like for like. Yet Fred could fill in that role, but that's not his best role. Same with McTominay. He could fill in for a game or here, but it's not sustainable. So I think, yeah, you're right.
What I've spoken about, and again, I don't want to go on about the coaching that because I'm over it, he's now in it. But my thing is, you see, when you don't have a philosophy and a way of playing, you don't buy certain profile of players. You should be able to swap a certain player with a certain player, bro. Do you know what I mean? For instance, look at Matic. He's the only midfielder of that ilk in the whole squad. So if Matic gets injured, we don't have anyone that can replace him. If you look at City, they had Fernandinho, but then you can play Rodri there and they'll do the same job. There's no one that does a Matic job in there. No. There's no one that a Pogba job, he's not as good as him. There's no one that does a Bruno, no one that does a Wan-Bissaka job, bro. If we lose him, defense, but even going forward, we don't really have a right back that's creating the same amount of chances. Do you see what I mean? Like, there's no one. And that is my biggest problem. Like, the players, there's no correlation between their replacements. There's no specific style of playing. There's no philosophy. Do you know what I'm saying? At least with other coaches, like LVG was like, cool, I want my left centre back to be left-footed. You knew what he wanted all the time. Do you know what I mean? I want my DM to be able to play this way. I want my striker to have these attributes. Right now, the team, there's no cohesion in the team, bro. If we make more than 2 changes, the whole balance of the team's off.
Yeah, well, there's cohesion, but only in the first 11.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not just having a certain 11 good players. It's also having players that can replace players. If we get injured, if we get a Matic injury, we need someone that can screen the back 4. We need that. Do you know what I'm saying? If we get Harry Maguire injured, him and Lindelof are similar, but Lindelof is not as commanding in the air. We need a centre back that can attack the ball. We don't really have another one. He doesn't look like he fancies Bailly. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, like when you look at Luke Shaw's style compared to Brandon, chalk and cheese, nothing alike. You know what I mean? We don't have any players that play similarly in the team. It still looks like a bunch of individuals, except our starting 11's now looking like some good individuals. But we're still a couple injuries away from looking rubbish again.
Yeah, Peter Mellon says Jack Grealish, Sancho. Somebody else said get a Jack Grealish. We spoke about Van der Beek, and I think it just feeds into that. In this summer, I was almost thinking a lot. It was almost like the Norwich game was just a big wake up call. because you kind of forget sometimes, innit? You know, you saw our first 11 against Sheffield United, and you think, yeah, bring in the changes against Norwich, we need to, etc. Which there's going to be games where you need to. There's so many games. Bruno and Pogba can't play every game. Maybe can right now because they've been off so long, but in the context of a whole season, they can't. But what it did show me was actually, yeah, you're looking at I was saying like, but Jack Grealish, yeah, it would be brilliant to get him, but would he come? He's going to have to go on the bench and stuff. But then I'm thinking now, hold on a minute. Yeah. You come, that's our bench. That's the strength of the bench. You ain't got people at City saying like,
United. Come from Aston Villa, you sit on that bench, you smile, bro. You just came from when Manchester United. What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? All these United fans saying, oh, well, where's he going to play? Bruv, look at Daniel James got 27 games, 27 starts. And what, Jack Grealish ain't going to get games? You'll get games, bro. If Jack Grealish ain't good enough to start for us, where we need to be right now? Because he shouldn't be walking from Aston Villa into a Manchester United team. If he is, that shows that we're not where we're meant to be, bro. Jack Grealish can come on with 25, half an hour to go and impact the game, bro. Instead of Dan James coming on, imagine if you got some Jack Grealish doing the right thing. City can bring on Sane, bro, and Sterling before. Do you know what I mean? Or bring on Riyad Mahrez. And we're talking about Jack Grealish like we can't have him on the bench. Of course we can. That's what we need.
100%. Ibrahim says, have you realised the only youth player who have let go and become world class is Pogba? Yes, we have. There was a super chat there. I wanted to get that in. This is from Jordan James. Thanks for contribution. Again, Sancho, Ndidi, Grealish. He's basically saying he thinks that would be a fantastic window, which it would. I don't know. I find that a bit out there. I don't know if we'll get those through. The Ndidi thing's gone very quiet. I don't think we'll be in for a defensive midfielder this year, but it'll be welcomed. It will be welcomed for sure.
Just signed. They just signed the holding midfielder, the Portuguese bro. That
who Leicester did
with before, yeah. So there's rumors saying that one of their midfielders are moving. Isn't
Who? Which one? Who? William Carvalho?
Yeah.
Oh, they signed him.
Carvalho, yeah. But I think they're going to sign. But then who goes? Because Tielemans just signed a new deal. Madison's not going to leave, so maybe rumors are saying Ndidi's leaving, but it won't be to us, man. Do you know what I mean? When I look at what Ollie's doing culturally, only Declan Rice makes sense in a holding midfield if you're going to bring them in, and it just makes sense, innit? You get Rice, you get Sancho, and you get Grealish.
Well, you're talking, I know your thoughts on Rice in terms of you think that maybe he's a bit more hyped up than he is. A lot of people do say that.
He's good though.
Exactly. He's not a rubbish player. He's a good
player.
No,
he's not rubbish. He's good.
And you know what it is with him? I was listening to the radio yesterday, and they were saying that it was actually Aaron Cresswell who made some comments on about West Ham, and a lot of West Ham fans were angry at him because he basically said he was kind of pushed into a corner with the question, but he basically said, "Look, love Declan, and to be honest, in a nutshell, if Declan was to move on and be around better players, he'd go up a level. Like he really is one of the best players in the country in that position." And if you think about it, if you put Declan Rice into a midfield with Pogba and Bruno and players of that ilk, Sancho on one side, Martial, what you think Declan Rice is not going to be able to keep the ball good? He would do a decent job.
Technically very good, and also
for 30 or 40 million rents. Sorry, before you go, for 30 or 40 million.
If he's 30 or 40 million, I'm saying sign him now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying for that kind of money. Remember, we were seeing 60, 70 million. He was and I was like, nah. Chill. But for 30, 40 million, I don't want Van der Beek. I'll take Declan, bro, because he's English, innit? That's the route we're going down. And when you look at Mason, you look at Rashford, do you know what I mean? You look at Wan-Bissaka, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? We just got that core there, bro. Like, if we're gonna go that way and get the best of the British, innit, then I think you have to bag Declan and Jadon, bro, and get Grealish.
Yeah. And it feeds, and Grealish as well. It feeds into that. Remember when we were saying to get back to where we want to get to, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go outside the league and buy all these different players from. Sometimes you can just pick the best from your own league and kind of form your thing from there, so that you can start at least competing domestically before you build that out and get your Brunos or
but even so, brother, unless you are a special player, he never really went outside the Premier League to sign players, and when he did, they didn't really work out that well. Do you know what I'm saying? So. It's just one of them ones. You look at like Anderson and Nani, they were special talents at the time. That's the reason why we spent it. Ronaldo was a special talent. Do you know what I mean? Like Veron was a special player, bro. Like, man, don't just go out and just
sign. We wanted him from the year before.
Special player again. You know what I mean? We don't go out and just bloody sign any Tom, Dick, and Harry, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't expect us to do business like that. If there's a premium, so what? No, the ones. If you have to pay 40 million for Grealish, 40 million for Rice, yeah, and like 70 million for Sancho, like up front or whatever, bro, I've just paid our money.
Just do it, yeah, exactly. Because you look at the
150, 200 million, bro. Spend the 200 million and get them free. No one's going to complain.
At the moment, Matt has just got that lockdown, but that's not going to last forever. He's probably got another year left at that elite level of playing like that. Declan Rice would be perfect to come in at 30 or 40 million. I know people think that Declan's overrated sometimes and that, but I think
he probably is overrated, but that doesn't mean he's not good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, Rashford's overrated. It don't mean he's not good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, brother, it is what it is, bro. Like, people think that overrated means man are not good. No, he's still good. It's just that man were talking about him like he's a ready Michael Carrick, bro. When they're saying 60, 70 million, he's like, no.
He's still young. He's still got to go. And look, if West Ham go down as well, I keep saying it, with the likes of the Euros coming in next year, you can't be playing Championship football week in, week out and be wanting to get into a senior England squad. And that's going to be a big point for Grealish and Declan Rice, depending on where they both end up. Cameron Bauer, thanks for the contribution, says, what you guys think of Keane for assistant manager?
I don't want him anywhere near Pogba. Nowhere near him, brother. You mad?
Not just Pogba, just the likes of the lads that are just
quite
young, trying to express themselves. He's just coming with some bully boy
now, bro. And if Pogba's not firing, we don't stand a chance as a football club. I don't care, innit? We've seen it, bro. Like, I don't care. No way, bro. Don't want him nowhere near him. Like, this is now, he's just settled down. He looks happy. He's hungry. He's running around, sliding and that, bro. Go away, man. Do you know what I mean? Whatever Oli and them man are doing, in terms of the morale and that, it's working, innit? I don't want Roy Keane anywhere near this club right now. No way.
Official KWB says, if we get Rice, I'm done with this club.
You'll be surprised, bro. Like, he's good.
Vandy Candy says Rice is good, but he's not basmati. Love that. White Rice. I mean, the comments are going off. This is lovely. There's a lot of slander on. I don't really want to take it back to that because we just spoke about that. You know, another one here. SAD99 says Declan Rice, get out of here. Not many United fans are. You know what's funny about these United fans? These are the same man that rate McTominay, but they don't rate Declan, and Declan is 10 times the player Scott is without even trying. Do you know what I mean? And that's no disrespect to Scott, but bruv, there's I don't know about 10 times.
No, bruv, I don't think
he's 10 times.
Bruv, Declan can pass the ball to a player on his own team, which is a bonus. Do you know what I mean? Like, McTominay's ball retention is not good, and you see it when he comes into the midfield. But
I think that's the roles as well, though, and that feeds into what Declan is and what.
Exactly, Declan is more similar to Matic in terms 100%. Of where he screens, but he's a way better passer of the ball than Matic.
And he's a better passer on the ball than McTominay. He just maybe isn't as combative as him, but he still can win the ball back. He still gets about the pitch.
No, but Rice is physical,
and he can drop into centre half.
Like, he's physical, he is. Bro. And he can play centre back as well. So you're getting two players, isn't it?
Yeah. Sam Studio CR7. I hope this is a bit of a wind up. Fabrizio Romano just tweeted that Havertz is to Chelsea. I hope that's not right. Rants, if you can get a little check.
It probably is right. It probably is right.
I knew there was in for him.
Their man tapped out of the Sancho thing because he's ours, innit? So they can have Kai Havertz. I don't mind, innit? Like, it's Sancho watch. Man don't really care about Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones where you have got to watch your own in-house. I mean, Chelsea are looking like they're making some brilliant signings.
And they play good football as well. And this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like the way Chelsea move the ball, you just put better players in there and straight away. I think they're going to be a problem to look at, man, next season, guys. Very, very
they do, which is why we've got to get our transfer.
Luckily, their defense is crap. So as long as they don't,
but they're going to get a new left back. They're going to get a new left back.
They need another centre back as well.
Yeah. We'll see with them. Sal says, funny thing is, people still think we don't need Pogba. Norwich and Tottenham showed why we still need them. Thanks for the contribution there. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Do you know what? Over 4,000 people watching. That is crazy. Day after a game. Love that.
The feeling's coming back. We're winning. Yeah. Hi, everyone that thinks that we only do well when United aren't doing well. Yeah, all right, mate. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, we still get the most numbers when we're playing well. So you can put that myth to bed now.
There you go. Sam, thanks for the contribution. He says, when someone says Matic doesn't have the legs, show them the distance covered right before Bruno was taken off. Ricky must be proud. What a great CDM.
One thing I would say about Matic, Yeah, you can say you don't have, bruv. Matic is 31, innit? Matic does have the legs, but the thing is, yeah, I'll be the first to admit, yeah, I thought that Matic's legs had gone, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I thought they had gone.
Yeah, he showed us
what
different.
I'm saying? However, one thing that fans need to always remember is we don't know everything that goes on at the club, bro. Like Matic looked like he was out the door. He was liking tweets of people slandering Oli and that. I thought that relationship had completely broken down. And then out of nowhere, the guy signed a new deal and he looks like a new player. So was he playing crap because he wasn't happy? Like, we don't know, innit? Maybe he was just unsettled, innit? You know what I mean? Maybe he was just unsettled and he couldn't be asked, and now he's asked. But he's still 31. You know what I mean? We don't know. He's had more injuries at Man United than he's had previously in his career. So maybe that his career is starting to take his toll on him. Can we rely on him to be fully fit for the whole of next season? I don't know, innit? Like, I trust him when he's fit, but I don't know how long he's going to be fit for. So I still think that that's a position that we seriously need to look to get covering.
Absolutely. Big up Snaps. He says, please spread the love and share the stream, guys, as well. Yep, smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You can join the United Stand membership as well. Make sure you guys do that if you would like to. Thanks for the contributions today. Like I said, let's see if we can get to 4,500 people watching. That would be sick. Smash a like on the video as well. We'd love to see it. You know what? I want to talk about Angel Gomez now. Before we talk about the games that have just gone during this week and look about the week ahead. I mean, what was your take on Angel Gomez kind of not signing? Loads of people got conflicting opinions. I think what we all can agree on is that he just wasn't really given a chance when there was a lot of players ahead of him who was having zero output. Lingard and Pereira, to name a few.
And even Chong has been given.
Even Chong got a few more games than him. Not massively, but a few more games than him. Are you surprised? Are you disappointed? Where are you at?
I'm not surprised. I'm not disappointed either, because I think I always said it. I think that to do what's best for his career, he should have left, because if he stays, he gets more money here. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're saying that United offered him a very good deal. So he didn't leave for the money. He left for football. And his reasoning was he wants to play more football. I respect it. 100%, man. A player of his quality should be playing week in, week out. And if he's not playing week in, week out, he should be given a fair chance to play. And I don't believe he has been given a fair chance, because Pereira, Lingard, Mata, them guys have had many, many chances to prove their worth, and they haven't done it. Even Tahith Chong, he played in the Astana game. And what was the other League Cup?
Gomez played in that though as well, I think.
Yeah, and he looked good. Do you know what I'm saying? And Chong looked rubbish. And then there was another League Cup game that Chong got a game in, and Gomez weren't even in the squad, bro. So it's
Gomez
one of them.
Gomez against City last, I think, when we was 3-0 down. And he actually looked all right. Yeah,
well, there you go. And then never got another game, bro. I don't think he's been given a fair chance. And you know what? Oli just doesn't fancy him, innit? So because of that,
feeds into what Josh Sutton says just there, Rants. I don't think Oli rated Gomez. We may never know. Yeah,
he didn't rate him.
Yeah, he didn't give him a chance, did he?
Oli don't like small players, and he don't really like Fred anyway. Look how, have you noticed how Fred's been phased back out now? Do you know what I mean?
But I think that's just because Matic is. I think he's unlucky to be phased out.
Because now when he makes changes, McTominay will always come on before Fred. Fred is the bottom now. Fred's back at the bottom where he always was. And I told people, you don't really rate Fred. It was the injuries, and now Fred is the lowest down. He's behind McTominay. Even in the game before, Fred got subbed off and he was effing and blinding, and McTominay was having a stinker. Like, Fred's at the bottom of Ollie's list of midfielders. He doesn't fancy him. And we're seeing that now.
One thing that some people were saying, and it was an interesting interview I had with James Cooper, and he kind of basically was saying that Ollie is not in a position to be able to get it wrong right now. And he's going with the more experienced players. Even though Pereira and Lingard have had zero output, he would still bet on them. In Ollie's mind, he sees it as maybe he'll bet on them because they're senior pros. And I think there probably is a little bit of that, because at one point he was under some serious pressure, which as fans, we were like, look, can't be any worse than Lingard and Pereira. Just, we're not going to get on your back for playing Gomez, give him a chance. But I think the way Solskjaer might have been looking at it was a mixture of, one, I don't know if he's going to commit his future, which from our point of view, we're like, we'll play him and he might. Two, I know that Jesse's had big moments and a bigger, you know, he's a proven player. At some points he has been. and Pereira just signed a new big deal, and he kind of wants to go with him. So that's the only criticism. That's the only criticism I would label at Oli. That's the only criticism.
Yeah, but to combat that, then why are you rinsing a championship player then? Because Dan James ain't got no Premier League experience. If anything, Chong and them man probably got more than him. So that doesn't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Dan James ain't Premier League standard.
But then Chong and that though they haven't played competitive football. At least Dan James, he's playing in the Championship week in week out, playing under 23s.
Yeah, but it might be. But then
got more experience than Chong.
Yeah, bruv, he might have more. He might have more men's football experience than him. But the bottom line is, bro, he ain't got any more Premier League experience than these man. He's not a Premier League player. He's not. Do you see what I'm saying? Daniel James is not better than what man have in the academy. That's why I'm always bemused that we actually spent real money on him, not monopoly money, like real money, bro, on that guy. He's not better than Angel Gomez. He's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones.
He's a different type of player to Angel Gomez. I don't think you compare them to. He's not
but it doesn't matter. He's just not better than him, bro. Like as a footballer, bro, Angel Gomez would give us more from that right wing than Dan James has given, man, bro. He doesn't even get shots off in games. Do you know what I mean? So like I can't defend the guy.
He did yesterday, he just missed.
Yeah, two crap shots, bro. Like man came on against tired legs, and looked rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like it's for me, I don't see the logic in that. Like Dan James isn't someone you give 27 games and then say that you're going with experience. Do you know what I mean? That don't make sense to me.
But I think Solskjaer admitted that, to be fair. He did say that James has played too much this season. And I think
play
it was
matter
out
there
of,
then. Play matter there sometimes. Play
which
play
he did
Lingard
poor. He played Pereira a couple of times and they were just so poor. I think the real issue is for me, is that the right side, apart from Greenwood, like you said, he got 13 goals this season. Really, it should have been, if you were going to give someone more games this season, it shouldn't have been Dan James. It shouldn't have been Pereira in that position. It shouldn't have been Greenwood. It should have been Greenwood. But I just think loads of people have been saying that.
There you go.
I feel like he was just still wrapping him in this cotton wool, like because he's so young. But it's like, bro, every time you start the kid, he scores. When you bring him off the bench, he scores. He's got double figures from not that many starts. He scores goals. You said it, and it's almost like now towards the back end of the season, the kid's played himself into the team where Oli even has to say, "I wanted to take it a little bit slower, but I need you," and that's good.
It is good. But the bottom line is, like there's no consistency with the decisions being made right now in terms of who plays, who doesn't, etc. Who gets new deals, who doesn't. Pereira should have never gotten a new deal. He's not Manchester. Right. He's not Manchester United level. He never has been. Do you know
I do wonder why that happens because everyone thinks that it's always down to the manager to go, I definitely want you to stay, get a 5-year contract. It doesn't work like that. It is behind the scenes. Who knows? Oli might have said, I want Pereira to stay and go on loan. Only signed a 2-year deal, and then they gave him a 4-year. Who knows?
But he doesn't even have resale value, bro. If we sell him tomorrow, he's a 10 million quid player. 10,
15 top.
Yeah, not even 15. Do you know what I mean? He's poor, bro.
But then if you think about if Dan James is 15 coming from the Championship in the market,
if we sell
someone
Dan
who's played
James
as many
now,
Premier League games as him,
we'll be lucky to get that money back. We'll be lucky to get that money back if we sold him now. Do you know what I mean? We'll have to take a loss on him.
Nearly 5,000 people watching now. We're at 4,700 odd people watching. Smash a like on the video, share the stream, share up the love, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Dylan from Cork says, what do you think would be the best move for Gomez? Stay in England or go abroad?
Go abroad, mate. Like, I
don't think he gets into a lot of teams.
No, I think Chelsea wanted him proper. You know what I mean? And Chelsea would play him.
I don't get that one.
They got a young English core.
Chelsea?
Bro, he'll get games, bro. They got a young English core. Do you know what I mean? They're playing the Gilmore. They got the Tomori guy coming through, Reece James.
But I don't think he fits into it. You got Willian and Thing that are going to leave, right? Let's say Willian and Pedro leave. Turned into a Chelsea show now. Willian and Pedro are going to leave. They've got Ziyech coming in. They've got Werner. They potentially might get Havertz. They've got Mason Mount in a 10. They've got Loftus-Cheek attacking midfielder, can play left or right or in the middle. They've got
Loftus-Cheek,
obviously a midfield of mid. Yeah, centre mid. They've got obviously Ross Barkley attacking mid. He's doing well again. If Angel Gomez goes there, I can't.
He's not gonna go there, but I'm saying, the way they play football, he would fit in there. I reckon a sick move for him would just be go Bundesliga, tear it up.
Yeah,
tear it up. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I know Dortmund are in for him, but it's one of them ones, bruv. Just go there and show man you're a baller. He's a ridiculous footballer, bro. He's so good. He's small physically, that won't matter. Like when he goes abroad, they're gonna see how good this guy is, man. So I think it's a great move for him. I'm also happy that he didn't just stay for the money, because a lot of these young players will be like, yo, I'm at Man United, get my 30 grand a week contract. I mean, be out on loan and stuff like that, just to say you play for Manchester United.
Yeah, journeyman. Yeah.
Nah, it shows that he's got ambition.
No, I did. I wish him all the best. I did hear, I won't say who from, but someone did say to me, who's quite in there, that the people around Gomez actually didn't think the contract was that worth it in terms of the money.
Of course.
I did hear that one of the sticking points was that, which, you know, it could be, it is down to that as well. But also, like I tweeted on the day that it kind of broke, which is clearly Solskjaer has not reassured him that he's going to be able to get sufficient game time to develop. And if you want to go off and play football, I've got no qualms. I'm not one of these fans who's going to say, oh, he turned down the great badge of Manchester United. Who does he think he is? I hope he fails. No, I don't. I hope he goes on to achieve great things.
Yeah, there's a lot of fans on that. There's a lot of fans on that nonsense, yeah. But the bottom line is, don't you think it would be hard for someone that's been at the club for that long, yeah, to turn their back on the club? It's not an easy decision to make. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously he hasn't been given the reassurances that he's going to get the game time he requires, and it's a professional decision he's made, and I 100% respect that.
Another super chat here from Fisayo Run says, I'd rather academy players like Traore and Garner next season over Pereira, Lingard and Mata. If we can't get Van der Beek, Grealish or Samari, bench needs quality. That feeds into what we were saying earlier, that, you know, we really do need to invest in quality as well. Someone else said earlier, Rants, actually, allow the 150 million for Jadon Sancho or whatever it might cost, yeah, and maybe invest in 3 good squad depth players.
No.
Not
squad
for you?
Depth, bro. Nah, hell no. You know what I mean? I don't want to be going into next season, yeah, with Mason having to be ready now. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? He's still learning his game, bro. Like, he's still learning his trade. He's still developing. Even though I think he's a special player, I don't want him to have the pressure on him. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that it's good that Rashford's in the team and all the pressure's on him, because it's enabled Mason to just come in and just kind of just do the little star boy thing on the side, and everyone's looking at Rashford. Do you know what I'm saying? But if Mason came through on his own and there weren't players like Williams and all of that were kind of taking the heat off him a little bit, it might have been different. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want us to be looking at Mason like, yeah, he's all right winger, give him the 7 shirt and then all the pressure's on him. Nah.
Exactly. We need that. If you've got a right wing of Sancho and Mason, my God.
That's it, bro. Bring someone else in.
Mason plays up front here. You just have that competition for places. Like you said, with Man United, that's what we should be doing. Marco says, talk about Dalot, please. We'll do that slightly later on. Luke Purdy says, Dan James' first Premier League season, 4 goals, 6 or 7 assists isn't bad out in for a young debut Premier League season. Lots of room for improvement in him. I know you don't really see that improvement, Rants. I see a little bit of improvement. I think he can grow. I don't think he's going to be a world-class player. I think he'll be a decent squad player. And like I said, against Brighton, with a player like Dan James, that's the season I think he should have really have had this year. Not being burnt out every single game. I don't blame him. Like you said, it's Ollie who's picked him game in, game out. It's Ollie who's made Mason Greenwood maybe not get as much chances, even though his goal return for those limited chances is great. But I just think he's young, and it shouldn't be on his shoulders to come in. And if you're relying on a kid from Swansea to come in and make our right wing sorted, it says more about us as a club than it does about Dan James. He's come in, put his all in, and in a lot of games this year though, where we have been crap, yeah, he's been the only thing just because he's fast and he is direct and does give the opposition something to worry about. So he's worked his socks off this year in big games. You know, I know you could say it was easy, but against Liverpool, we went 1-0 up because of him. Great pass to Rashford. Rashford with a tap in, played the ball at the right time. Couple of assists this season. One at Norwich over the top. I know it's simple, but he's still done it. So I big him up for that. I commend him to that. But I agree. If we're going forward, that's not the quality we need. You need him to come in 75th minute, 85th minute when people are tired, and you have your Sanchos and your Greenwoods in that position. That's the level.
I just think if we're Manchester United, yeah, he's not even good enough for the squad, innit? It might sound harsh, yeah, but I can't remember in my life as a Manchester United fan when we were actually good, yeah, that we had a player that bad. Do you know what I'm saying? In the squad. Like, there was never a player coming on, I'm like, oh, not him. Not even when we were bringing on players like Quinton Fortune and that. At least you knew what they offered. To me, like, he just don't offer nothing, bro.
LJ agrees with you. Says, Flex, you can work your socks off doesn't mean you're good enough.
Yeah, he's just not good enough for me. Like, I just think
Jesse Golden says James will have a good career, but not at our club. So look, there's conflicting opinions. I just think the kid's been asked to play way out of his skin, out of his depth.
Out of his depth, 100%. I think he's a championship level journeyman. I don't even think he's good enough to play for Leeds. Do you know what I mean? On the top of the championship, and that's not in a disrespectful way. I just mean I think that he's a championship journeyman. He's gonna be like Chris Eagles and them, man, bruv. Like when man leaves United, I think he won't play in the Premier League. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't think he's good enough. Do you know what I mean? And that's not personal. It's just that now we're getting better. We're starting to see how bad he is. Like I always saw it, yeah. However, now I think now we're getting better. We're really starting to see where we need to improve.
Dilly says, the truth of the matter is if you take out speed out of James, you have nothing. At the moment, like I said, that is his best attribute, and he does make poor decisions, and hopefully he can improve on that because he gets into the positions. He's just got to make better choices. Moving on, Rants. So, look, we did move the show because we had a game last night. Haven't spoke to you since the Norwich game as well, or have I? No, I haven't. That game was on Friday. So, no, I haven't spoke to you. What have you made of the last couple of games?
The Norwich one, again, exposed our lack of depth and our lack of like-for-like replacements. We made changes. Ball retention wasn't good in the midfield. Bruno had an off day. Do you know what I mean? And we relied on the quality that we did have on the bench to win the game. But yesterday's game did what big clubs are meant to do to small clubs, turn them over. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, like, that's what we did. Now, this is the first. Yesterday is probably the first game where I went into it and I was like, bruv, as soon as I saw the lineup, I was like, 3-0 safe. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's how we should be feeling as Manchester United fans when we look at the team sheet and say, yeah, they don't want it with us today. That's exactly how it should be. You know what I mean? So happy with yesterday's performance, bruv. Like, there's not too many holes to pick in yesterday's performance, man. We done what we needed to do. Simple.
Absolutely. There's very, very little. I mean, it was a brilliant performance from start to finish. Even when Brighton tried to up the ante and get back into the game, boom, hold that counter. We can switch it up. Yeah. And, you know, what a sweeping goal that was, you know, reminiscent of the Arsenal goal at the Emirates that year when it was at Park, Ronaldo, and Rooney on the counter attack. It just, you know, I see even Paul Scholes was on Instagram saying, "Oh, looks like we got a team now," and Gary Neville trolled him saying he's a hard man to please. As Callum123 says here, 15 games unbeaten. And look, the unbeaten thing, look, like Ricky said yesterday, and we were saying, you would obviously agree, Rants, it's all good being unbeaten, but if you're not getting enough wins, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. You're not really moving.
Exactly. But to keep pace, draws are not going to be good enough right now. We've got to keep winning. But you're looking at it now, and you look at the teams left and how we're performing with our first team. For the first time in a long time, we feel very, very confident, and rightly so. There's so much to look forward to. This team, you're looking at Bournemouth on the weekend, and no offense to them, I can't see anything other than a 2 or 3-0. You know, you're looking at after that when you got Crystal Palace, Villa away. I don't know what order, but yeah, those games are still to come.
But I said on paper, all them games are winnable going into the Leicester game. Like, there's not a single team on there that we should be looking at that we shouldn't be just looking to punch up, like, ruthlessly. Every team there just needs to get beaten up. Like, that's what we need to be on. Like, none of these close games, bro. Like, we need to just run on there and impose ourselves on these teams. And we saw, like, literally, I think within less than a minute into the game against Brighton, we were on them. Do you know what I mean? And that's how we need to start games, man. Like, this is the Manchester United that we should be applauding. Like, this is the kind of football we should be looking at.
100%. Over 5,000 people watching us. Lovely. Look at that, people. Keep sharing, keep liking the video. Got about 10 minutes left, so let's see how high we can get to. Maybe we can get to 5.5K watching live. That would be a big one. Aditya says, Rants, your opinion is valid right now, but playing in the Prem regularly from the Championship is different level. Tammy is scoring 14 goals now in his second season when his first season wasn't great. Well, he was in the Championship last season. I was like, this is his first season in the Prem. Yeah. But he was with
Swansea, yeah.
Was he with Swansea?
One of them teams. Anyway,
I thought this was his first. I thought this was his first season. In
one of them seasons. One of them teams. He was in Swansea. Swansea in the Championship, not in the.
Oh, because I know he was with Villa. Done very well at Villa. Yeah. But he's done well this season.
Bro, Tammy Abraham, yeah, bruv. Tammy Abraham, one, ain't that good, yeah, and two, at least if you look at him technically, he can hold the ball well and that he offers something in it. other than pace, James don't offer nothing. You can't compare a speed merchant, that's got no football IQ and very basic technical ability to someone that can actually hold the ball and bring people into play. Tammy, as a technical footballer, is a whole 2-3 levels above Daniel James.
Yeah, like, Swansea. So if I'm mistaken, it is his second season in the Prem.
Yeah.
31 appearances, only 5 goals that year at Swansea. When they're struggling,
but
Swansea
also
side.
You're playing in a struggling Swansea side where you're not getting you're not getting chances. You're literally there to lead the line and try and bring people into the game and just score when you can, innit? Like, it's a completely different thing, bro. It's a completely different thing. Dan James, doesn't offer anything as a footballer other than speed, bro. And man say he's defensive and that he averages less than 1 tackle a game. So this defensive winger thing that Ollie's tried to convince you, man, he is. If you look at his defensive stats, he doesn't even win the ball that much. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's numbers for these things. Like, so managers can say what they want, but statistically, he doesn't win duels. He doesn't win the ball back. He just runs, bro. Like, he just looks like he's trying, but he doesn't actually provide us with anything. He averages less than 1 shot on target a game.
The game's going forward, Rants. So next game, Bournemouth. Fairly steady, easy, expecting us
3-0 again, bro. Forget Bournemouth.
It should be, innit?
3-0 again, bro. That's what we need to do. If we're really serious now, 3-0 again, roll them over. De Gea just sitting down there having a picnic, bro. That's what I expect. Another 100%. Clean sheet, another commanding display from the midfield, another Matic masterclass, bro. Like, another Pogba masterclass. Bruno again just scoring goals, hopefully. We need Rashford on the score sheet because he ain't had a good time since he's come back. And, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I just want to see more of the same, bro. I want to keep seeing more of the same till I get bored of it. And then I start expecting us to play that way. Because right now, this is the first time probably in the last 4... Well, post LVG, this is the first time where when Man United go out, you kind of know what you're going to expect from them, innit? Because at least with LVG, whether man found it boring or not, you knew what we were going to do every game. Under Jose, we didn't always know what United. Sometimes we look like we were an attacking team. Sometimes we look mad defensive. Same with Ollie at times. Sometimes we look like we're going to counter this, that, and the other, whatever. But now, it looks like we know what we're going to do to teams, innit? We're going to keep the ball well because Matic, ball retention's good. Pogba's ball retention's good. And then we've got Bruno in there trying to create things. And Martial's clinical. Greenwood's clinical. Rashford's off form at the moment, but Rashford will score goals. We kind of know what we're going to do now. Do you know what I'm saying? So I want to keep seeing it till I get bored of it, bruv.
Rants, let me know if you can see me all right and hear me because it was...
Yeah, I can see you and hear you fine.
Okay, let me know in the comments because on my screen, Rants is getting a little bit faded and fuzzed out. And before we finish off the show, we've got a contribution here. Big up yourself from Venkat. Says, you got to love when the fans come together. Consistency is key. Absolutely. I think we can definitely see that now.
Bro, the bottom line is with all of us, we're all fans of the football club, we all have different opinions, but we all want we all want the team to play well, bro. Like, that's it. It's always the case. The problem now is with social media, a lot of people, if people don't have the same opinion as you, they want to try and silence you, bro. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, bro. Like, you can rate certain players, I cannot rate them, whatever, bro. Like, it is what it is. Ultimately, we all want the club to do well. If the club's doing well, no one's moaning, bruv. Everyone's happy. So we just want the team to be good.
It's not that hard to ask for, is it? The big channel, thanks for the contribution. He says, here's the big question. Jesse Lingard or Dan James? I think I know Rants' answer for this.
Oh, yeah, of course. Lingard every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I'll always pick a man that can play football over a man that can't play football.
He's more proven than Dan James. But Lingard has... I do think a move away for Lingard would do him great. Look, it's obviously gone to pot at United. It's not working out now. He's way down the pecking order. Didn't even make the bench yesterday. Yeah. Taken off early against Norwich. Didn't have a great game. I think the writing's on the wall there. To finish off, actually, big up Marco. I haven't forgotten. He says, Flex, Dalot. Let's talk about Dalot as kind of the last thing for the last couple of minutes. Do you rate him? Do you think he needs to be moved on? Do you think he's going to be too injury prone? Do you think he's ever going to get a chance at United, considering the players that are ahead of him? Where do you stand on Dalot?
I like him. I'd play him, but I'd play him left back. I'd play him left back.
Play him left back?
Bruv, he played left back.
I don't think he's that good defensively.
Bruv, he played Porto. Blood, he played left back at Porto, you know, bruv. Like, bro, that's what I don't realize. He actually played on the left hand side, bro. Man, talk about defensively. He's got Harry Maguire behind him, bro. He paid 85 million for him, bruv. Let Harry Maguire like cover, man. You know them ones. Like, let him go forward. He's not that great defensively, but bruv, at the end of the day, I wouldn't trust him. I would trust him with Harry Maguire behind him. I would.
You would. I don't think he's not better than Shaw. He's too exposed defensively.
He's a better man defensively.
Even you admit with Shaw,
defensively he might not be, but going forward, he gives us so much more, bro. Like, even when you look at Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford, how many times did them man link up on that left hand side? Hardly ever, bro. Hardly ever. There's no chemistry on that left hand side whatsoever, bro. Our right hand side in the last game was looking very good. Like Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka linked up for the goal. And Wan-Bissaka was getting there, linking up with Pogba on the edge of the box, doing little things and that. We don't have that on the left-hand side, bro. You know what I mean? Dalot is very good. Dalot is very good going forward.
I feel with Dalot, one thing is injuries. We bought the kid injured, and he always seems to be injured. That's always a concern when they're young, which isn't his fault, so I understand that. But with Bissaka there, never going to get a game at right back. That's understandable. Don't need it. Right wing now, we're looking to lock that down.
He's better than Daniel James at right wing. We've seen that.
But if you bring in a like Sancho or just the right wing, then someone else goes further down. I don't know. I see little glimpses here and there. Don't get me wrong. There's some good performances. I remember away at PSG last year. He was absolutely superb. I think it was me and you at Palace when he come on
and changed the game.
And then Ashley Young ended up scoring from it. So we showed little glimpses. I've always said I'm happy to give him another year or so. I wouldn't sell him this summer, but I just can't see him getting in. I just can't.
There's a player in there. 100% there's a player in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have no doubt in it. For what he might lack defensively going forward, he more than makes up for. He's our best attacking fullback going forward in terms of ability. It's not even close. It's not even close, man. The guy can beat players one-on-one, and his delivery, his crossing is the best out of all of our fullbacks.
I think I just haven't seen it consistently enough from him. I've seen glimpses when he came in. He was very refreshing.
When he's fit though, he's never had a consistent run of games where he's been getting game time. I think it's another case of he's not getting game time, bro. Even when I
can't see him getting it, and that's why I think he might move on in the years to.
Jose wants him at Spurs, so maybe it'd be interesting to see if he goes to Tottenham. But he's a player I rate.
In this team, I can't see Ollie kind of going back on himself. Shaw's his favourite left back with Brandon Williams close behind. Fair enough. You lock down that left hand side, that's fine. Wan-Bissaka, you might argue Ethan Laird could come in next season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You rate him highly. And a lot probably not defensively as good because he can get done. Right wing, you could argue he's better than Daniel James.
Yeah, he definitely
in the grand scheme of things. If you get another player in the summer, he goes further down the list because you're going to have Greenwood and whoever else comes in. So I just think he maybe might not make it. Delaney A says, where is that? That was a good one. He said that Dalot is off to Wolves. Now, obviously,
that's a bloody good signing if he goes there. But if you think
of that, actually, that could work for him.
Yes, it could.
Patricio, Portuguese as well. Sorry, Nuno, Portuguese as well. Well, Patricio is as well.
That would be brilliant.
But in their system,
I'd like to see that. He would look good.
Yeah.
Him and Traore down that side.
Who plays right wing?
Him and Traore down that side, bro.
No, but I'm thinking who plays there for them now. Is it Doherty?
No idea.
Yeah, I think it could be Doherty. Or does he play on the left?
There's not enough peri sauce on that, bruv. Man, have to put Dalot out
there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Rants, we come to the end of the show. We've got a game to look forward to on Saturday. Can't come quick enough. Obviously, Leicester Everton tonight. Hopefully, a Calvert-Lewin masterclass with Richarlison. Nick some points off Leicester. Leicester been stuttering. I know you and Mark. You and Mark literally were saying we were going to catch them or they'll come out the top four. You still think that's on the cards?
Yeah, by force. Get out, bruv. You know what I mean?
What do you think will happen in the game tonight?
Draw. Another draw for Leicester, mate. Get out.
Yeah, Everton ain't conceded a goal yet since the restart. So they're looking strong. Big up all the socials, Rants.
At Rants and Rants, Twitter, Instagram. Head over to the YouTube as well. Big up, guys.
Absolutely, big up yourselves. 5,000 people watching at the end of the show. What a show! Great numbers. Smash a like on the video. Make sure if you haven't subscribed and you've just tuned in for the first time, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner and tap the bell for your notifications as well. Check me out at Flex UTD across all of the social platforms, and check out my YouTube channel, The Flex, as well. Doing some big things on there as well, guys. We will see you. We haven't got a game in place for next week, have we? We can do it Tuesday. No, but I mean, after that, I think we'll be all right. And we'll see you same time, same place next week. Actually, no, back to the original Tuesday. All right, we're out of it. Peace.